Did you know 85% job seekers, I'm reading this, so I don't want to get it wrong, don't negotiate their salary? I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. Put a little strategy, there's a few steps you can do to put yourself in the best place. There's a great cartoon I saw the other day. Person goes for a job interview and it's like, hey, we pay $40,000 today, but over the next few years you could earn 50,000. And he's like, cool, I'll come back in the next few years. I want the 50, not the 40. People generally are pretty bad at negotiating for themselves. So the good news is there's a few things you can do to put yourself in the right position. Now, I would start with this, is you've got to know your worth in the market. Like, do your research. There's so many tools available now. So there's no excuse for not knowing broadly how much you are worth in the market. And when I say worth in the market, obviously there's pay, but there's also other things that go into this, right? You might value other things as well. So, but let's just say pay, and you've gone for a job. I mean, if you're lucky, they give you a salary range. But also the other thing is just say, if you're in the US, people can't ask you what your salary is. And there's a few other countries, but you don't have to say in America. In fact, you don't say. In the UK, generally you do say. So someone can ask you what you're earning, or your expectations. So, but do your research, find out, again, if you're in America, it will publicise what it pays. In England, they might not know, although there's a EU pay directive that's coming in soon. It might come into the UK as well. So do your research. Understand how much you're worth. Then think through this. Any good negotiation, there's three things. There's your walk away. So your bare minimum. Like, if you pay me any less than this, I'm out. Not interested. Then there's your ideal. So ideally I want X. And then there's your stretch target. You know what, I could really do, I want to really on that. So if you're clear on those and you're rigid on those, then you can go into an actual negotiation. So you've done your research, you've jumped on ChatGPT, whatever, and you realise, okay, for my job, this is like broadly how much I should be earning. Basic salary, bonus, shares, make sure it's full package, right? Because all the packages are different, so it's not just basic salary. So make sure you've got all of that clear. And then you go in, and then they ask you, so what are you looking for, right? Like you've gone through the interviews, hopefully they've asked your expectations up front. So when they do, and the question will come, and it might come from the hiring manager, it might come from a search firm, it might come from internal, wherever it might be, expect the question. Don't be uncomfortable. Like, a lot of people, they feel a bit uncomfortable talking about money and things like that. And generally it's something that people do feel uncomfortable talking about. But if you're prepared, you've got your walk away, your ideal and your stretch target, you'll be quite well prepared for it. And be reasonable as well, right? You want to be like broadly in the right space, otherwise it's just not going to work. So don't go too crazy, because you won't get anything. Don't undersell yourself. Just, be realistic with what you can earn. So then they'll ask you, so you've got an option. So some people, you could say a number. Let's say your stretch is 100. Let's say your ideal is 100. Your stretch is 120. Your walk away is like 90 or something like that, right? So they say, well, what do you want? What are you looking for? I would give a number. So the problem with giving a range, so let's say your range could be 90 to 120, right? The minute you give a range, you are anchoring them mentally on your lower number. So you're not going to be getting any more than 90, unlikely. So I don't like giving ranges. I quite like giving a number. So you could say, I'm looking for, it could go to stretch, right? So you could say, I'm looking for 120 base plus package. Or you could say, if your stretch is 120 package, if you know the package details, you can work out what your base is going to be. So I would give a number, or something I really like, which works for many people, is you could say this. You could say, so they ask you, what are you looking for? And you could say, well, I'm interviewing for other roles that are paying around 120 base plus package, which takes me up to, whatever, let's say 150, 160. I'm looking for something similar. That's quite an interesting way to do it, because it implies you're in demand. It indicates you're interviewing in other places without kind of going overboard on it. It's showing that your worth in the market, and it's saying to them, if you want me, because there's other people that want me, if you want me, you're going to have to get to this kind of level. Otherwise, don't waste my time. So that's probably the way I would go. But you've got a few options, but think through clearly, be prepared. And if you're prepared and you plan it properly, you can deliver it in the right way. You're not going to you'll know exactly what you're going to say. And again, a lot of this stuff as well is how you deliver the message. You can kind of say anything. But deliver it well. And if you're prepared, you can deliver it well. The other thing to that, right? Obviously, with all good negotiations, it matters what happens up front. Like vibes matter, first impressions matter. So, make sure that you're nailing all of the other stuff, right? Like you've got everything else locked down. You've done your interviews well. Again, if you're doing really well in the interviews and they love you, it's giving you like a much better leverage to get what you want to get. So don't be aggressive with it. Do all the upfront stuff, get on with people, make a right first impression, prepare for the interviews, do all of that stuff, and then that'll give you the best chance of securing the best possible deal for yourself. Hope that helps. See you soon.